Okay, my loves. It's been a minute since I filmed a podcast for you. It's been a minute since I have really expressed my voice as it's meant to. And there's a reason for that. And that is because I've been hiding a little bit. I've been shrinking and performing. And that goes against everything that I teach, but it doesn't actually. And the reason it doesn't actually is because I am meant to go through some hard shit, alchemize the pain, and then I can teach y'all. Okay. So, one of the things that I have been moving through, perhaps my entire life, but I'm nearing the end of it, is around sisterhood wounds. Now, to be very clear, we are pure expressions of source frequency. All of us came to Earth as a soul to experience life on Earth in these bodies. And with that came the responsibility of allowing a lot of density and darkness and wounding upon our bodies, our beings. And for those of us who choose to awaken, those of us who have big missions of service, get to look at, feel, and process the wounds that are put upon us so that we can then heal, so that we can remember who we are, and then we can help others. So when I talk about sisterhood wounds, I do not say that this is something that happened to me and therefore I'm a wounded soul. No, no. When I speak about sisterhood wounds, and I will get into it today, what that means is I was given a lesson in this life, and honestly, not just this life, many past lives as well. I have been given a lesson around connection with women. And it has been a very big one in this iteration of life, in Eleena Katz's life. And I am now at a point where I've moved through enough of it that I am ready to share about it. Listen up if you have ever felt like a dissonance with other women, if you ever struggled with your own sisters, if you ever felt like you were in the shadow of others, other women specifically struggled with female friendships, felt comparison in your online business, seeing other coaches or healers or other spiritual entrepreneurs just doing it better, especially people who are in your similar world and your similar niche, and you're like, why are they doing so great? And I'm over here, I'm amazing, but I'm not as successful. Yeah, those are all sisterhood wounds, my friend. So listen up if you've experienced any of those, because we are going to get into it today. I'm going to share my own experience with a sisterhood wound, how I've moved through it, and how I can now help you move through it as well, because it is so important that we identify these inner experiences, this wounding that has been put upon our beings, allow ourselves to feel it, and then we can free it. And then once we do, then there's no more comparison, there's no more struggle in friendships with other women. It's really a wound that allows you to connect more deeply, more intimately, and to let your heart be set free so that you can shine your light in the world in the way that you're meant to and not be at the mercy of this programming, this wounding. Okay. So my personal story with the sisterhood wound. I will start in this lifetime, and I know there are many others. I know this is not the origin, but I have a distinct memory of being, I don't remember the exact age. I have a distinct memory of feeling very alone. All right, let's rewind. It's getting warm in here. This is the real work, my friends. This is the real work. This is the big stuff. This is how we alchemize it all. This is how we grow. This is how we heal. Showing up vulnerably, speaking our truth, getting it out into the world. When I was 6 years old, my mother left our family, and it rippled through my being as a painful, like dagger of you are wrong, it is your fault. So I have a distinct memory of being 6 years old, entering kindergarten and sitting on the stairs in our kindergarten room, just like hugging my knees, right? Just like this, just too afraid to be seen by others, too afraid to connect with other girls. And I remember as time went on in my upbringing, in my very safe little private school upbringing, seeing all the other girls with their mothers, with their other friends that they've made with each other, and thinking they must be happy and something must be wrong with me that I don't have that. And then fast forward to a little more into adolescence, I remember distinctly after being in this struggle bus with female friendships, feeling left out, feeling like I was alone. My dad, who meant so well, and no shade on him for this, wanted to help me. And in the way that he knew how, knowing that my older sister was very popular and well liked, had a lot of friends, had a lot going on, said to me, if you were more like your sister, then maybe you would be happy. Now, little Eleena took that message in and took that as you are wrong for being who you are. If you were like others, then you would get what you wanted. Then you would be loved. Then you would have friends. Then you would, I don't know, fill in the blank. That's what little Eleena took in as truth. And it created this separation between who I am and who my older sister is. And I'll preface all of this. There is no shade or hate going toward my dad or my sister or anyone in my family, not even my mom. And I know I'll get into more conversations about the abandonment wound. That's a big motherfucking one. But we're talking about the sisterhood wound because this is where it originated in this lifetime, separating me from my older sister. She had it all. She was the chosen one. I was the black sheep. I was the one who didn't have friends. She is good. I am bad. And I carried this with me throughout my entire life, entering some friend groups, but never really feeling safe to fit into them. As soon as there was some kind of, I don't know, disharmony or something, I would just back out and disappear. This created situations for me in intimate friendships with other women, right? Intimate in the sense of like close friendships, of feeling connected and like, oh, I have this great friend. And then something would happen where I was either abandoned by them or I abandoned them. I have examples of all of it, but there was always this bit of just stress and struggle around women. And fast forward into adulthood, I have never had a problem with men in the sense of I have great male friendships. My partner now is my best friend and my life partner and my fiance and my future husband and future father of my children. And we will also get into other conversations about how my abandonment wounds impacted my intimate romantic relationships, but that's for another time. The point that I'm making here is my connection with men has always felt easy on like a friendship level because there's no wounding there. The wounding was between me and other women. So not only were my friendships impacted so profoundly, so deeply, where I always felt like a bit of a wall of protection because I was afraid of getting really close to women because of that initial fracture of I am here and you are there above me. That's some shit. That's some shit. And I won't even go into all of the stories of the times where I felt like I was in my sister's shadow, but it was very real and it impacted me greatly. And when I started my money coaching business back in 2020, and I found instant success because success has always been programmed into my coding, and it was part of my divine path to get out of a job and get into my own soul-led business, even though it has evolved beyond simple money coaching. It wasn't until being deep in the coaching industry where these sisterhood wounds became from tiny areas of disharmony in female friendships to these giant emotional, energetic, and like success blocks, essentially. Because the amount of times that I would look at other women in the coaching industry and think, why the fuck are they so successful? Don't they know that I'm so much better than them? Right, little Eleena who's like, I'm still amazing, right? What are you doing up there? Why are you so great? So the comparison that I experienced in my business, looking at other women and wondering, what do they have that I don't have? And this would happen especially when I started to lose my success I'll share this more another time, I am sure. I have stories out the ass. But I was very successful for the first year and a half of my coaching business, and then it all went away. And the reason that it went away was because in order for me to hold on to soul aligned success, like the real success that I'm here for, I had to go back and learn some fucking lessons. So the sisterhood wound is one of those big lessons I had to learn. And this showed up in comparison. This showed up in feelings of not enoughness. And it has blocked me from anchoring into higher levels of success because I would see all these other female coaches in the healing space, in the coaching industry, and think, wow, they're so much better than me. But inside, I knew that what I have is so deeply powerful. And so it just created this fracture that reminded me of the original fracture of I'm here, little Eleena is here, trying to be special, full of abandonment wounds, don't think people like her. And my sister is here, liked, loved, celebrity. And so this has plagued me subconsciously. I didn't realize this until just recently. That's why I'm sharing it with you because I've recently worked through this. But the sisterhood wound keeps you in a place of feeling like you are not seen, you are not loved, and you are not capable of connecting with other women. And so they're all your competition. And how this so deeply showed up for me was seeing these other female coaches knowing that they're amazing in their own right, but just constantly comparing myself to them and nitpicking them. Like, okay, they're making $1 million, but they're not really that great. It was like my inner teenager had to put shade on them in order to shove them down a peg in my own mind in order for me to feel better. But what I have realized through this healing of the sisterhood wound is understanding that, well, understanding the truth. Because when you operate from wounding, you can only see through the lens of wounding. So when you're carrying a sisterhood wound in your body, you are going to be believing, speaking, behaving, acting from a wounded place, which means you're going to limit the results that you can create in your life, in your business, financially, with friendships. But we're here building solid businesses. So, in order to build the success that you are really here for, we have to strip away the wounds that are blocking you from shining your authentic light. The sisterhood wound keeps you from seeing clearly, from seeing the truth. And the truth is this: we are all souls who came to earth with our own unique vision, with our own divine blueprint, with our own original frequency, which means none of us are alike. We are all different and unique. Not two of us are the same, not even close. Even people born on the same day with the same parents, we know that twins aren't the same. So there is no competition. There is only connection. There's only cohabitation. That's the word that wants to come through. Because we're kind of like the honeybees, right? We all have our roles. We all have our ways of operating in the world. We all have our missions and our purposes, and we are meant to do them in our unique way, right? I don't know about all the rules of the honeybees, but there's like the workers, the ones protect the queen, et cetera, et cetera. And so when you anchor into that truth that you are unlike anyone else and your unique magic must be shared with the world, and it is way different than any other woman out there, it can open up a little space within you to realize that you have been operating from a wounded place of, I am not as good as someone else, but that is untrue. So, what you get to do is you get to look at your own experience and honor the feelings first. That's really step one. Why are they more successful, right? I have a sisterhood wound, and it's no one's fault, but it's what I've been holding on in my body, and it's time to release it so that I can see clearly. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone, or whatever that song is. That's what just came through. Because when you see clearly, then you can shine your light. You can speak your truth. And all the people, all the women out there who you were so afraid were doing better than you or aren't going to like you, they are going to become inspired by you, just like you get to become inspired by them. And you realize competition is gone, and all you are left with is connection. So the sisterhood wound runs deep, and that's okay because we as a collective are here to heal that. We are here to release the wounding that has been put upon us and given to us, alchemize our pain into our greatest purpose, release the wounds to allow in the wealth. This is what we're here for. So if you have that sisterhood wound, if this has been aching within your being, you're not alone. It's okay. You're safe to let it go now. You're safe to be free now. You're safe to speak your own truth now. And when you do, see how the world reshapes itself around you. See how your lens that was once foggy starts to clear. That's when magic gets to happen. That's when women get to be magnetized into your life, like the real soul friendships that you were destined to have, but you couldn't see because you were so focused on how women were there to harm you. Trust me. I know this intimately. Okay. So, again, first step is to acknowledge and to just admit and feel the feelings that come up. And then you get to release them, which clears the path for you to show up as the real you. And if you need support with this, your girl's got you. I can help you with this. So reach out to me because it's time for you to clear these sisterhood wounds out of your energy field. We got to remove it from your energy field, from your chakra system, from your subconscious, clear it out of the way so you get to be you again. Clean, clear, free. All right. That's all I have for you today. Love you all so much. Until next time.